So I did a video on MLB stadium objects and whether they have been struck by batted balls or not. Then you guys told me about a bunch I missed, in particular, hit it here signs, both current and from the past. What is the history of these promotions? Which ones can you still see today? What are the astronomical odds of these being hit? And oh, have any of them been struck? MLB Hit It Here promotions is coming up right now. Hit sign, win suit. The earliest example I could find of a Hit It Here promotion was at the old Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York, over 90 years ago. Yes, as part of a clever marketing ploy to sell more suits, Abe Stark, a clothier in New York City, had a billboard placed at the base of the right field wall that said, "Hit sign, win suit," in 1931. Ads on outfield walls had just begun to appear in stadiums about a decade before, and it was only a matter of time before someone came up with this idea. The promotion was wildly successful and made both the sign and Abe Stark famous. For 6 years, nobody hit it as it was at the base of the wall in a short right field where fielders could protect it. But on June 6, 1937, Dodgers shortstop Woody English became the first. He hit the sign and won himself a free suit. The Giants' Mel Ott hit it twice, the only opposing player to do it, and it rarely got hit, if at all. Eventually, the Dodgers moved to LA and Ebbets Field was torn down. However, according to the New York Post, a remnant of the sign was put up at MCU Ballpark, home of the Brooklyn Cyclones. I could not find any pictures of this, but the minor league team still runs Hit It Here promotions to this day. From here on out, the history of Hit It Here signs gets pretty murky. The Mets put one up in 1962 advertising Howard Close. It was in the Polo Grounds, whose odd dimensions had the sign only 279 feet from home. The 70s and 80s saw a trend of cookie-cutter dual-use stadiums and the reduction of advertising on outfield walls. Parks that used to have cigarette and dry cleaning ads on their home run fences were now boring and plain. I couldn't find many anecdotes or examples of Hit It Here signs during this time. But in the 90s, we saw the first evidence of a comeback, starting with the ballpark in Arlington, Texas, which opened in 1994. Here, a Hit It Here, win a free suit, 501 feet sign adorned the huge scoreboard and right in the newly built Retro Classic Stadium. By the way, the 501-foot measurement was to the sign on a straight line from home plate, so it would likely take a 700-foot blast to actually hit the sign. Apparently, nobody ever came close while it was there. 6 years later, as I covered in my other video, the Cardinals installed Big Mac Land in Busch Stadium 2, where if a Cardinals player hit it into the area, the whole ballpark got to win a free Big Mac. It's been hit a bunch of times and it carried over to Busch Stadium 3. But it's not specifically a Hit It Here sign, as a seating area is a much larger target. But now things were in full swing for Hit It Here signs. In 2000, T-Mobile Park, then Safeco Field, installed the Hit It Here Cafe, with a sign adorning the front facade of the right field upper deck, 380 feet from home and about 30 feet up. The cafe was sponsored by Budweiser, and it's unclear what you got if anyone hit the sign or the cafe. But if it was Budweiser, they probably gave away free water, aka Bud Light. It is estimated that it's been hit 5 or so times during a game, but what kind of nerd would keep stats on that? Dan Vogelbach cleared it in 2018 in a mammoth shot that people still talk about today. Damn, that ball was crushed. And according to Jamie Moyer, Ichiro hit the glass at the cafe 6 times in a row during BP.
I'll give you an example. In Safeco Field, there used to be a restaurant in right field called the Hit It, I think it was called the Hit It Here Cafe. I saw him one day hit 6 balls in a row off of the glass of the restaurant.
You should never discount anything anyone says about Ichiro, because it is likely true. The sign was removed recently, but the cafe is still there. But Hit It Here isn't gone in T-Mobile Park. For 2025, the Mariners put a sign directly on the right field fence. It doesn't seem to have a promotion attached to it. Mariners fans probably win a free Dick Punch, which they collect every September. Before we get to our next one, which was controversial, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, which you actually don't want to skip. Hey, do you like stadiums? Of course you do. I have the coolest product ever. My friend at jksprints.com makes accurate 3D printed miniature stadium models that are a perfect collector's item or gift. These things are painstakingly recreated and printed right here in the USA, and there are currently 9 different models to choose from, and new ones are being added every month. Even better, if you use my code 5points, all one word, you will get $5 off your order. Prices start at just $18.99. Again, that's jksprints.com, and use code 5points for $5 off your order. Now back to the video. In 2014 at Angel Stadium, Sherwin-Williams placed a giant paint can over the left field fence, promising to donate $1 million to the Angels Baseball Foundation, a charity, if an Angels player put it in the can. Giggity. Well, in 2017, Justin Upton did just that, hitting a bomb that bounced first, then landed inside the promotional structure. Money for a good cause, right? Wrong. Because it bounced, Sherwin-Williams balked and didn't make the donation. It actually caused PR backlash for the billion-dollar company, which stopped the promotion immediately after the 2017 season. Nobody else even came close to hitting the can, but in 2025, Mike Trout hit this Toyota truck in center field, and that brings us to the GOAT of Hit It Here promotions, Toyota. Toyota has set up vehicles in multiple MLB ballparks and has generously given away more than one. At Great American Ballpark, perched a staggering 513 feet away from home and elevated up another 30 feet is a Toyota Tundra that is likely impossible to hit. You would need something like a 540-foot blast just to get it up here. Since that is too difficult, Toyota set up a much more reasonable target. Under the smokestacks in right field, 430 feet away from home plate, a sign and an area indicates that if a red hits it, a fan wins the truck. Jesse Winker came within inches of hitting the sign in 2021, and they gave a fan the truck anyways. What's even cooler, they give away the truck every year. Sometimes it's to a local charity, other times they raffle it off to a lucky fan. Sherwin-Williams, maybe take notes. Their promotions vary from ballpark to ballpark, as there was a truck placed at Coors Field in 2018, and despite it being in the launching pad that is a mile above sea level, it's still 484 feet from home plate and elevated up about another 30 feet. Nobody hit it in 6 years, so when Charlie Blackmon retired, they just gave it to him. CJ Cron did come close though. He hit it over the fucking thing in 2022, a 505-foot blast. Damn, son. Has anyone hit an actual Toyota sign though? Dead ass? Back in 2015 in then Miller Park, a RAV4 was placed in right center and is framed by Toyota territory, where if a Brewer hits it there, a lucky fan wins the RAV4. It sits exactly 419 feet away from home. How do I know this? Because on June 9th, 2019, Mike Moustakas hit it dead on, and a lucky fan was awarded the RAV4, the first time it had ever happened in 5 years of the promotion. Not sure if the fan accepted it though, it was a RAV4. In my other video, I covered the Little Caesar sign at Comerica Park, which was installed in 2021, and nobody has yet to hit the target directly, which is about 415 feet from home, though Trey Mancini hit it on a bounce. If the ball goes in, the Detroit metro area gets a free hot and ready pizza. The odds of a ball flying in that specific spot is pretty rare, plus even if hot and ready pizzas were free, I think only drunks at 2 a.m. want them anyways. Okay, we have 2 more really interesting ones before we wrap this up. At the appropriately named Target Field, there are multiple targets both on and off the field. Above the batter's eye in center is a target just below the Minnie and Paul sign. Nobody has come close to hitting this, which carries no prize associated with it. It just would be so freaking cool if this happened. It's a literal target. It's about 450 feet away in dead center and another 60 feet up, so you'd need at least a 520 footer to get there. Probably never going to happen, considering there are only about 3 homers that go over 500 feet every year. The target is likely safe. There's also a target behind the mound, which is an ad and usually where they put the rosin bag for the pitchers. A journalist by the name of Davey Andrews created a whole blog post about if anyone has ever hit this thing, which has been etched on the mound since 2010. He calculated the odds of hitting this random spot as 1 in 32,000. And it's on the backside of the mound, making it even more difficult to hit. This dude poured through every hit ever at Target Field and then watched every ball that ever came close to hitting the spot. grounders, liners, and pop-ups, and discovered that none of them had hit it. But some came tantalizingly close. Hats off to you, Davey, fellow member of the Extreme Nerd Posse. That's us. Me and you. Finally, we have our last Hit It Here promotion at Petco Park for 2025. At the top of the right field foul pole is a jack-in-the-box head where a significant amount of it is in fair territory. There isn't one in left because the Western Metal Supply building is the foul pole or fair pole, whatever you want to call it. Now, the right field pole is only 323 feet down the line and the creepy clown head is about 40 feet above the ground. You'd probably need a very doable 370-foot shot to hit the jack in the box. I couldn't find if there is any official promotion regarding hitting it though. It would just be super cool. Someone on Reddit said it's a piñata that's filled with stale-ass burgers. That's pretty funny. Well, there you have it, a brief history of MLB Hit It Here promotions. Did I leave any out? Have you seen any of these getting hit? Which one was your favorite? I'm 5 Points Vids and you made it to my next video.